just kept on climbing up. T just kept on climbing up the strikes, and literally, I think eight plays for NVIDIA went for 1,000% because he just had the most perfect roll up. So yeah, 8 tickers, 15 plays altogether for 1,000%.
That's wild, man. It's like he had NVIDIA CEO call him like, yo, it's time to roll up each single time.
Yeah, his roll-ups were, I mean, like literally up until the very last one, I think that was Friday morning, went for 300%. Like you could literally watch, if you look at the green posts that I have, or Gold Rush has in announcements, go to the green one. That's all the plays over 100%. We had 81 plays go for over 100% max gains. That's roughly 60%. And you can track the NVIDIA there, and you can literally watch how his first NVIDIA is the highest max gain. And as he went, it was, when I say it's a perfect roll up, it literally just started getting a little bit lower, a little bit lower, a little bit lower. He got 300% gain, and that was his last one. He didn't even roll up on a loss.
And that's crazy, because if you guys listen to the Smarter Trader video, the risk management video that we love replaying in the server all the time, Sam always says the last roll up is going to fail. But would you consider 300% profit a failure, right? Like, that's insane.
Yeah, that's what I say. It was absolutely perfect on T's side.
Yeah, we're very lucky to have him. So welcome to the weekly watch list, guys. For anyone who is new, if you're part of the server, you already know the vibes. If you're not part of our server, right now on your screen, you should have gorushgang.net, which is our website. Pretty much gives you a breakdown of who we are, what we do, what our offer is to you. You know, if you want to see what it is from our members, you click the testimonials right on the first page, and this looks crazy on full screen, but it does look really good in my heart, right? If you guys, if you're brand new, or if you're not part of this live call and you're watching a replay, go ahead to gorushgang.net. Click the join us and scroll down to the fun pass section, and go ahead and try us out for free for a free 7 days. Anybody who's lucky enough to watch this as of November 7th, Sunday, November 7th, 2021, you will lock these prices in. These prices are going up. Actually, these prices we've already updated the prices on the website. They just haven't gone up yet on our payment page. So go ahead and take advantage before midnight. The prices will go up. I just closed out the website. Let me reopen it.
If you're already a Fun Pass member, you'll be getting a DM with a discount code in order for you to continue to have the $75 pricing that you came into the server with. Anybody after that time frame will be paying $100.
And for anybody that's unaware, if you're watching this video online for the first time, so I'll just break this down real quick, and then we'll go ahead and get into the tickers. So 14 karat gold is the full access to our Gold Rush algorithm suite. It's basically all the tools that we use in order to find these plays. You know, if you are a strong trader and you're just looking for a flow tool or a due diligence tool, then this is a full access to our AI suite. This $50, if you know how to trade, you'll get this $50 back in minutes, right? The 18 karat gold tier is our Gold Rush premium Twitter feed. It's also access to our weekly watch list and our watch list channel within the server, as well as our news channel, and the gold mine within our Discord server where you will see all the plays. But it's all plays, no vibes. If you want the vibes, right? If you want the family, the community, then you want to sign up for the 24K gold. Where, I mean, you know, we give you everything that we have, you know, and this for all levels, all members, all levels, all traders, any style. You know, we make sure to cater to everybody. So this is the one that you want, and even at this price, I think it's a steal, to be honest with you. I mean, especially over the last couple of weeks that we had. So yeah, I'll stop the sales pitch. On our website, there's going to be some updates, so just be sure to check it every once in a while. We have some old calls here. We also have some courses, and if you are a member of our 24K, you already have access to these within the server for free. So just be aware of that. Again, testimonials. If you are watching this for the first time and you want to sign up for next week's watch list, go to the weekly watch list section, go to click here, sign up for the next week's call. And I think we can get started. S, do you want to go first, or should I just get into SPY and QQQ?
I mean, I'm kind of out of the loop still from last week. I don't have much to go over, except I do see Apple's looking good on the weekly.
Yeah, Apple's on my list for sure.
So I was going to say, I'm pretty sure you're probably covering Apple. So right now, Apple will be the only thing that I'd be looking at. So right, I'm still getting my feet wet, catching up from last week. For those of you who don't know, I was sick last week and was completely knocked out, being a little BI. So had the man flu and everything. So I'm getting my feet wet. I'm trying to catch up. I'm going to try to go through some level alerts and get that thing back in order as well. So this is all you tonight, Huey, I think, and anybody who else wants to share.
And we're happy you're doing much better. We're happy you're doing much better. Your presence was missed. All right, guys. So I'll go ahead and get into it. The first ticker on my screen is SPY. Now, I just want to mention this, and I've mentioned this plenty of times, and I'm just going to mention it again. SPY has been making brand new all-time highs for every month this entire year, January, February, March, even when it got tough over here in May, where we sold off, but then we recovered that entire month, right? And even in September, where we sold off, I mean, we started with a higher high. We started with the higher high, and then we came and filled some gaps. And then October came and just blew it out the water, right? October went insane. So, bullish engulfing candle, which is just extremely bullish, especially as these, the range of these candles are very, very big. So that just tells me that we're going to keep the good times rolling. There's no reason for us to stop going up, right? All of the news right now, even with taper, like I think all the taper shit is priced in. Everything is priced in at this moment. Some of the big boys in the S&P 500 are all moving pretty nicely, especially towards this last quarter. This is when they really wake up. So yeah, I don't see SPY slowing down. If we look over on the right to the daily chart, we had a tough level over here that we broke out and retested on the 1st of November. And then we just kind of gapped up. Now, looking at this candlestick, this kind of spinning top doji style candle here on Friday's price action, this kind of is telling me that there wants to be some space filled over here in this area between the range of Thursday close and the range of Friday close, right? Just all this wick. I feel like there needs to be another candlestick just right here. So maybe I'm anticipating kind of sideways or pullback action over here. Personally, I mean, that's just what it looks like. Another time that it kind of exhibited that, I'm kind of looking over here where it kind of made this higher high, and all the price was closed up just above the previous day's action, and then we had a gap down with a green day. Right now, I don't see this happening. I do see like maybe a couple of days of just kind of sideways action. We do have a big earnings week this week. I'm just looking over at the earnings channel, and I see that we got a lot of earnings this week. All right. Let's see. I'm just going to name some of the bigger names. We have AMC, PayPal, Roblox, Zynga's reporting, TME's reporting, Lemonade, Fubo, Neo, Palantir, Cisco, Ocugen, Upstart, SoFi, Wish, Affirm. Who else? Let's see, Luminar, Yeti, Wix. I'm sure there's a bunch that I'm missing too, but I mean, these are all just massive, AZN, bunch of massive names that move the market, right? Like if these names, if they report well, especially PayPal's going to be a big one. Also AMC, because there's an interesting relationship with AMC and SPY, where SPY will be selling off, but the means will be running in. So AMC is one of those that we think is going to give us a positive reaction if we come down to fill some of these gaps right here, right? So we're going to look out for that. Let's look at the Qs. Yeah, slightly interested in Upstart earnings. Yeah, Upstart. I'm also interested in Upstart. Actually, I think that they're going to do well. We'll take a look at the chart actually before I'll take a look at the chart before I put my foot in my mouth. So yeah, I mean, QQQ hasn't had the same higher highs all year, but it's just been trending upward. You know, opens and closes have been higher. September was rough, and I mean, you can see who led it, right? Tech came in and just blew it out the water for October, and QQQ showing strength coming into November. Now it's the same kind of action, and so you know, I don't see that much of a down day in tech based on what I'm seeing with this candle here, but who knows? I mean, there could be any kind of pretty much anything that could bring this down. For example, we have the infrastructure bill that seems like it was passed. It seems like they pushed forward on it last week, and so money will flow where it wants to, right? Money's going to flow wherever the opportunity is, and if the opportunities in utilities and industrials and metals and wood and all that shit, then you know there's no reason why you know that stuff should gap up, and money will flow out of tech. But I don't see this turning around. I see it maybe going sideways, you know, just to let SPY kind of fill that gap a little bit before its next leg up. Personally, now you know obviously I could be wrong, but that's what I see.
So a little bit on that, Cat threw up an inside week as well. So a little indecision last week, waiting for the bill to be passed. The bill passed this weekend. So let's see what Cat does off that.
Yeah, and for those of you who don't know what an inside week is, it means that the range of last week, the highs and lows were within the range of the previous week. So if we look at the candlesticks on the left-hand side of the screen, this is the previous week, and this is last week's price action. And so the highs, you know, didn't go as high as the previous high or low as the previous low. So this, and also, I mean, this is just on, you know, this isn't even like a 50% retracement. Like this is like very bullish. I'm sure that the volume on this was lower too. Let's look. Do we have a play for Cat already?
I don't think for next week. I think we had one this week.
Got it.
I can verify that for certain.
No big deal.
I know it was on JCat's radar for a little bit. I'm not sure. All right.
Yeah, and just looking at these candles, looking at the volume on these candles, I mean, look at all this volume, right? Still below 30-day average, which is this line here, but all this volume that came in and pushed this price all the way back, all the way up, right? The range of this was the open at 192, it went as low as 187, and as high as 209. So, and then last week we kind of ranged above the close and the high. We kind of just ranged in that area with low volume, which is a resting bar. It's just a bar of like, all right, like it ran so hard the previous week that now the buyers need to take a break, catch their breath, get some water, stretch their legs to see if we can take it back up above this high over here.
You want to show them something a little similar is look at Macy's last week.
Yeah.
Macy's on the weekly will look very similar if you go back a couple weeks. Boom.
So yeah, I mean, here we go. Like we have like a big ass bar, right? Strong bar with a lot of volume, breaking above all previous resistances, right? One, you know, all these days of resistance, it just broke up above it. And then the next week, we did kind of a rangy candle where we tested the high and tested, you know, the middle of this candle, but we kind of just opened and closed just in this area. And then sellers made a decision and bought it, and then they blew out the previous two highs, and it just ran, and it's kind of been moving ever since. And yo, us looking at it on the daily, it actually looks really nice on the daily too.
Yeah, I just noticed that. I'm just kind of catching up on that stuff.
Yeah, so. I mean, nice move out of the triangle, out of the pennant here, or maybe a bull flag or however you want to see it. Yeah. Nice move out, and then small retracement to test these previous resistances, and then kind of a gap up. So I mean, this is a nice look for tomorrow actually. And I usually have Macy's on my watch list, but I do not this week. But now it is. Those are your levels. I'll go ahead and post this in the server for us as well.
What other infrastructure you gonna get into?
So we gotta play for X. Is that Stunner?
Of course, you know this is my first time jumping on that thing with y'all. I want to see what you talking about now. Come on now, you gotta come with it. You got me on here. You gotta come with it now.
The money's here. What up, boss?
we got an X for next week. And then let's look at the 19th. We're stacked on the 19th. I'm sure we got a bunch of stuff on the 19th.
Yeah, there's all kind of plays for the 19th. So I mean, for infrastructure, we got X, we got CLF, which CLF kind of showed a little bit of weakness last week. It kind of disappointed last week. We had a play that we ate on this day, on the last Friday, but I mean, it's back below the risk level. So, I don't really like it too much. Let's see, XLU Utilities. So I really like this. I love this. I love this because we fell down into these previous levels, and we kind of formed a cup here. And now you can see that handle forming, right? The handle forming right on top of that 50-day moving average.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, this is super clean. This is super duper clean. I mean, this is pretty obvious. There's kind of a range here, kind of a box here, right? It kind of fell underneath the box on this day, but recovered the very next day. So really what we want to see is we want it to break out of the box. But if you want your aggressive entry, then, the aggressive entry would be the close. And then a little bit less aggressive would be the previous, the Wednesday's high. And then the safer entry for me, the safest, I think, in my opinion, would be the Tuesday or Tuesday's high, right? Now, mind you, we still have these highs to take out, but I mean, this consolidation is just super clean right here above the 50. The 50, it's kind of it's going to start turning around soon, next couple of days. This is very clean to me. So I'm going to go ahead and throw this on our list too. Hold on, I don't even have this on my master. Does anybody have any other infrastructure tickers that we should look through? Put actually on my list. Just slide my microphone over. Okay. Corey, you want to talk about X? You want to get on here and talk about X? Yeah, get on up here if you have a moment. I just need your confirmation. Yeah, FCX is another one. All right, let's look at FCX. I'm gonna let Corey go through that whole list that he just brought up. Yeah, FCX is another one. We're in an FCX. Well, I have an FCX play that I kind of averaged down on. So yeah, FCX is another one. Now, this chart isn't the cleanest in my opinion, but the one thing I will say is, where's my tool? Yeah, FCX is copper. So one thing I'll say is there's a bunch of buying pressure in this area down here, right? It used to be a resistance, and now it's acting as support. We have 5 days of buying pressure at this right here at this level. So other thing is this looks like a 3-bar play to the downside, right? This is the first bar here, second bar here. Let's look at the volume on this day real quick. And we're gonna just go. We're kind of just gonna go around the world with these tickers because I only have like 3 that I want to go over. To be honest with you, hold on. Okay. Get rid of these moving averages. Okay. Okay, well, FCX, let's look at FCX on a weekly real quick. So this weekly is, to me, I mean, it's super clear. Yeah. This is just clean. This is just a big ass flagpole right here. And then I'm seeing just some kind of like consolidation with some buying pressure down below, some curling on this price action. If I were to draw some fibs on this, yeah, I mean, we're just, it's to me, this is super clean. I mean, there's buyers here at the 61.8, whatever this is, right? Fibonacci. Yeah, I mean, this is nice. The daily is not as clean as I would like it to be. However, the weekly is the reason why I'm so bullish on this. And then the infrastructure bill just, I mean, that takes it over the top for me. Now, if we look at this daily, what I do see, and I got you in a second, Corey, what I do see is, though it's very ugly, but what I do see is kind of like somebody, you know, you might have been hanging out with Stunner and you got a cup and your cup is leaning a little bit, right? Cup is leaning a little bit. You might spill a little on the side, but you like that one. And then you might be spilling a little bit over on the side, but once you get your cup right, I mean, it'll break out on this side, right? So I'm really liking what I see with FCX. anything where you have a top of a range, bottom of a range, top of a range, and it doesn't automatically fly back down, but it consolidates at the top. That to me, that's like, it has the same vibe as a triple tap. Like it has those same vibes. So I think we have an FCX play. Maybe we should put some more time on it based on what we're seeing on the weekly, right? This is a big ass move, a year-long move. And so we might get another year-long move out of it if, you know, if the catalyst is there. Let me give you permission real quick. Okay. Ask to unmute. And when you ready to start video?
I'm on my phone, so if you want to just pull up the charts,
oh, okay,
I
cool.
kind of.
Which one you want?
My voice. Let's do X first.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, I put a bunch of contracts with high open interest, with good bullish splits in watch list on all these. So obviously here we called X on Friday, and you know, it looks like I think a lot of these are kind of giving the same vibes that they've all kind of been chilling, waiting on this infrastructure bill. So I mean, I know was that X or was that CLF, Huey? That like yearly, like 50-year chart that we were looking at that one day.
Hold on. Let me see real quick. I got the monthly on my left. So this is the monthly for X, and then I think it might have been CLF, bro.
Yeah, but I mean they're similar. It's similar enough. So
yeah,
I think, I mean, I'm not expecting anything crazy, but obviously there's a ton of upside here. And, you know, I mean, anyone live in a city where they actually take care of shit. So they actually might be spending some money now. So, you know, I think X is going to move. I would definitely play time just because you know, the market doesn't ever seem to do what we think it's going to do.
Mm-hmm.
And in my mind, I'm expecting money to flow in crazy into all these, but, you know, it might take a little bit. So I think it was the 26.5 for this week, and then the 29 for the 19th has high OI, and then the 30 for the next the next months out for X.
Yeah, with these, what we should start doing is looking at January contracts that seem like they might be a little far out the money, but you know, but they're not unattainable. For example, like this was months ago, obviously, but the price has previously been at $30. The price has previously been at $37, right? The price has previously been at $45. So some of those, it's not like price discovery at that point. It's just kind of like, oh, I remember being back. I remember how it felt when I was up here. So maybe I'll just go back up here.
Well, what are we in? You say you had the monthly on the left?
Yeah, this is the monthly.
So we're in like an 8-month consolidation, basically.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You know, you look back to the left, you know, it's like 3 or 4 months, and then it popped to those levels. So, you know, they say longer consolidation, the bigger the breakout. So we could be looking at, you know, 30, 35, 40 maybe.
Yeah, I mean, look at this box. You got your buyers down here, right? Which here are your buyers, right? It consolidated and it just gapped. So yeah, I mean, like you said, the longer the consolidation, it's like that spring is just getting compressed tighter and tighter. And you know, when it breaks, it's either gonna go up or down, right? It's gonna go up or down. The stocks go up, down, or sideways. Here it goes sideways, and now you gotta choose whether you're gonna go up or down. Now, obviously, we have the catalyst, so hopefully people select X for their you know, and obviously US Steel. Like, why wouldn't America's company, steel company, be the one to go, right?
The OG company. So
exactly. So what else you got, bro?
We have FCell, GE. So a couple of these ideas. There's that Jake W guy, the Trend Spider guy. And I really like his charts. He was on talking about IWM for a while. So FCell, I mean, we all love FCell. Well, not really, but we play it and blink and plug. And I know we've been looking at all three the last couple of weeks. And the measured move that I saw in this chart could take this up to like $40 based on previous breakouts. So, you know, I think with all of these hydrogen, I know HYLN's another name, all these hydrogen charging station type companies, there's money for that written in the infrastructure bill. So I think, you know, one or all, including ChargePoint, could be potential. So FCell, the contracts I like the best was the November 19th the $10. And obviously, if money flows in on Monday, the premiums are going to jump under $60 for that contract. I like the December $15 and the January $20. So, you know, I think we're in swing. We can safely swing these days. So I think if you got the money for it, you know, give yourself all the time in the world and just let the money come to you. And if those moves start moving, then you hop into the shorter accounts. I think we saw that this week with, you know, you guys were talking about Cat earlier. You know, the plays there, it was just we were a week early. And it looks like it's, you know, higher highs on the daily.
Yep.
It looks like this move's starting.
With ESA as well, that's been on Atlas's radar for about 3 weeks now.
Okay.
So I think Zach Morris had a position in it at some point. I don't know if he sold out on that last dip, but they were in on that first little run up before this past week. So I don't know if they're still in it, but it's been on their radar. So if it starts getting momentum with everything, they might start pumping like they have it still or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, look at that, the volume shelf. Like once you get past 11, there's not a whole lot there.
Yeah,
so there's a lot of room.
10:58, it goes to 13 fast.
So
yeah, I mean, you know, well said. And then like, obviously there's a bunch of volume back here, but this is all like the world's fastest water slide. Like this is just insane, right? Like they were just selling off for whatever reason back in 2019. Like as said, Atlas is on it, and they've been talking about it for a while. If anybody doesn't know who Atlas is, they are one of the biggest, I would say, Discord servers for trading. And you know, when they talk about a ticker, usually it moves, right? Whether it be because they find the financial the fundamentals or the technicals, or whether it's because by will of, you know, their members, they make it move. So
yeah, Discord actually just lifted their member cap literally like this morning. They're now allowed to have over 250,000 members in their Discord.
That's wild, man. Yo, imagine that many people. Yo, that's insane, bro. That's too much.
I mean, that's theoretically right. Like even if like a quarter of that's like 50K, 75K people
wild.
taking a play.
Yeah, and then if they're all jumping on the play at the same time, you know, out of a monthly kind of bull flag or a falling wedge or whatever, this looks more like a falling wedge now that I'm looking at it, you know, and then after like 6 weeks of consolidation here, you know, there's no reason why this can't go up. You know, right now, I mean, obviously it sold off a little bit, and maybe some of those Atlas members are like, oh man, you got me holding the bag or whatever the case is. But I can clearly see that this is finding support at previous resistance over here. You know, and so there's no reason for this to come back and test this trend line. But I mean, if it does fail, you know where the trend line is at. So let's keep this definitely on our radar. This is a clear cup and handle as well. You know, out of a consolidation, very, very bullish. Lots of volume came in October, and the volume's just been picking up since July, right? The volume's just been increasing. And so, you know, at the beginning of this month, we're already almost at July's volume.
Wow.
So let's see, you know, right? Let's see where it goes. So Corey gave you guys a play. I see the plays in the Watchlist channel as well. What else you got?
GE.
Wow.
Yeah. So this one's reminding me of IWM.
Yeah.
It's been consolidating forever. Triple tab vibe setting up. It you know, started moving up higher highs. It's getting over that volume shelf. And now we got the catalyst. So again, not my original idea. I found it off that guy on Twitter, but it looks good to me.
Inside week, with a decently bullish candle on the inside week. I've been back testing inside weeks, and out of the 10 that pop up roughly weekly, you have 4 or 5 that majorly run. So this week we have Apple, PLTR, Comcast, Rig, X, CVX, GE, Space, MQ, which has been on T's radar, and Gildian Sciences. Those are the main ones coming up. So, I mean, they're right there. Oh, Cat as well had an inside week. So, I mean, we have a lot that are lining up for us with the infrastructure and everything to play out.
Inside weeks are some of my favorites because because you know, if you know my style of trading, you can identify my setup pretty much anywhere. I like to see, like, what is this? GE has come up as high as, you know, obviously higher in the past, but let's look at the recent price action, as high as 115 a few months back and as low as a 94, right? So I know, like, right now we're at 108. I know it can go as high as 115. I know it can go as low as 94. I can pick a direction based on what I'm seeing on the volume, based on what I'm seeing on, you know, these higher lows. So I mean, inside weeks are some of the easiest ways for you guys. You know, if you guys are looking for setups, you guys are looking for your own plays, just look for inside weeks. Look for, you know, the and maybe we can share that scanner with people, TOS heads or something.
Yeah, no problem. It's a simple one.
Yeah. And, you know, if you guys don't know how to identify them, I mean, we have the Thinkorswim scanner for you guys. S will bless you with. And just like Han Soko said, you know, Trendspider is one of those people online that I started following on my journey, you know, at the beginning of my journey, and I continue to learn a lot from him. You know, these guys give trade ideas. They also explain. They do a lot of technical analysis. They you know, they use all their tools, and they give it all as free information. So you know, you guys we're always about furthering our knowledge. So definitely give Trendspider a follow. If you are in our server, if you go to the robots category and you go to there's a channel called AI Tech Feed. That's where a lot of our a lot of mine, a lot of the guys' technical analysis, you know, some of our favorite people to follow. So you can just go ahead and jump on there, click on them, follow them, learn from them, and become better traders. Corey, what else you got with GE?
I've been really liking just where it is in relation to the volume show.
Mm-hmm.
It's starting to look like it's treating it as support. I can't see the level, but I think break of that, you know, the inside week break of that high is the go. And you could, you know, even if it doesn't make it past the 115, I think you play it to 115. But like we saw with IWM this week, it hit that, you know, previous resistance and just smashed through it. So you know, this spring is locked and loaded. So I would think it's gonna go.
Yeah, I'm loving how this is lining up. And yeah, I mean, the price action is much clearer up here. Right down here, it's difficult because it's choppy. But just like you said, here's a high of last week. Here's a high of the previous week. Bust through that, and then we can go and test some of these highs over here. And yeah, just like you said, I mean, like there was a mean sell-off. Like it sold off on this day and just fell all the way back down. So don't hold if you're going to jump into this play. I wouldn't hold it in anticipation that it's definitely going to break. I would actually hold it in anticipation that it's definitely going to sell off around this area.
Yeah. Get enough contracts, get your 100% going free, and then let those couple run in case it breaks.
Yeah, textbook. It's the gold rush way. You got any other tickers you want to talk about?
There might have been one more. Let me check what I put.
I know some BLNK and you might say
yeah, you can do Blink or Charge Point. I got better technicals on Charge Point, but both of those are similar. Yeah, do Charge Point actually.
Okay.
Blink similar to FSO. So yeah, this one, you know, the T money call out this week, they didn't work out. I think the money rotated out of EVs after that first day. But I'm still bullish on it long term. Was that an inside? No, not an inside week. But yeah, definitely making higher highs. Looks like kind of bull flagging on the daily. I want to say 2610, I think was the number that we want to beat. As long as it's hovering in the 25 range, I'm feeling pretty good about it. If it loses 24.35, it might come down and retest that high 23s again, which if you're playing, you know, short-term contracts, is not going to get you where you want to go. I think on Charge Point, the 11/19/27 has the highest OI, which I think is super attainable. I'm still in my January 30 calls, and then I think December 30 is starting to get a bunch of OI as well. So, you know, I love the supply and demand zone setup on this one. I think it just needs a little bit of time to chill. But whichever one of these, you know, these are all kind of similar tickers, but whichever one of these are going to get the money on this infrastructure news, they're going to rip. So I'd put time on it. I'd play it to 30, see what happens if we can get into that supply zone above, and then go from there.
Yeah, I think that's a great strategy. I think personally, one of these is going to rip. Which one is it? Who knows? But one thing that will happen is, if we have enough money into one of them, or you put your money strategically in one of the better setups that you see that's getting volume, right? The volume is what matters. As long as it's getting volume, then you'll be fine, right? Then, obviously this is like a textbook technical analysis, clean flag break or pennant break or falling wedge or whatever, however you see it. But if one of them gets money, if BLNK ends up being the one that gets money, then ChargePoint is going to move off sympathy, right? Like money's not going to flow out of ChargePoint into BLNK. Actually, money's going to flow into BLNK or into ChargePoint, maybe because it's cheaper than BLNK, for example. Or maybe somebody got burned bad on BLNK. So they're like, yo, I'll just play ChargePoint as a sympathy. Like that's how these things are going to move. So very, very good analysis. Thank you for that. And thank you for adding the plays in there in the watch list.
Yes, sir.
Let's see. Let me see. I'm just looking through the list here. I know Fab is in here. Fab, are you ready to? I know you said you were ready to present. Let me know. Let me know if you're ready. And I'm just looking through the comments. X reported X dividend Friday, so price likely to drop first. I think the dividend payout was already made, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. Just zoom in on this. Yeah, the dividend payout was already paid out on Friday. So that's it. That was your payout. That was your price action right there. Let's see. Not infrastructure, but PayPal earnings gonna be interesting. Lowest R. So, Trini, you want to come talk about it? Okay. Trini Born, ask.
What up, fam?
Let's do it, my brother.
What up, Trini?
What's going on? Glad you're back, bro. Yeah, so I'll just start doing some diligence. I got that scanner that I use with TOS where it shows all the stocks that are below the 200. And I'm keeping my eye on PayPal because below the 200 moving day, it's a good company, obviously, and so it won't stay there for that long. Then you go back and look at things from a macro level on a monthly. It's come all the way down to 225, which is a big drop off. And I think if you drop a fib from that run up it had on a monthly all the way to the high, I think we're right around that 0.38 level, roughly. Super low RSI, earnings coming up. Everybody's been hitting earnings and doing relatively well. And I think it might be looking to make a move over the next, 2 to 3 weeks. Obviously, in a position like this, you definitely want to give it time. I haven't looked at the chains yet, but I just think that it might be gearing up to do something here soon.
Yeah, that scanner, by the way, is like as simple as it gets, and it's also just like why complicated, right? Like I think that's right. Amazing. You found a bunch of bangers on that thing, man. I'm not even gonna lie, bro. Yeah, so this is the black line is a 200-day simple moving average. The red line is a 50-day simple moving average. It just created a def cross as of the 2nd of November, which triggers people to sell or whatever. But as you said, PayPal is such a strong company with such good fundamentals, and they're growing and they're expanding their venture, their business into different segments. I think PayPal's it's one of those companies that right now it's on sale, to be honest with you.
Right. And those wicks on that monthly that were respecting that 223, 225 area for me. I've been watching a lot of ICT recently, and so those wicks to me are telling me there's a big order block kind of sitting in that area, to where once it gets down there in that range, it tends to pop back up, and that's what makes me feel that we may get a move because it's been on sale for quite a while now.
I agree. I'll be honest with you. I've been watching PayPal every day. At the end of the day, I put PayPal and I look at the weekly. And what I'm looking for on the weekly is I wanted to form a green hammer on the weekly to show me that's reversing at this level. Once it shows me that green hammer, I've been looking at the 2023 300 call. I mean, because 300 is magnetic. It can get to 300 in like a couple of days if it really wanted to.
Right.
And I think the contract was going for like 1530 or 1430 or something like that. Last time I looked at it was Thursday. So This is great. I mean, I just like you said, I wouldn't like try to trade a weekly on this. I would.
No,
because you're gonna catch that falling knife and it's gonna be on fire probably.
Right.
It's not
But I
gonna
think
feel
any close above 233 roughly up to the upside, I think we're making a move. Once it clears that candle for sure.
Yeah. So even like just this weekly candle, basically.
Yeah, I think we'll get some momentum if we can bounce off that fib level and clear that candle. I think we should get a move back up to at least the next level, which is what, $30 roughly. But you obviously want to get a time. So
I'm gonna go ahead and add an alert for PayPal so I don't lose sight of it. Yeah, I mean, if you guys want the deep play, it's a 300 call for 2023. Right. And if you want to be a little bit more risky, I mean, it's not really too risky, but start looking at January contracts. Maybe
yeah,
like
and if you think about it too, right? I think all these payment plays, so Square, PayPal, Visa, I think is another one that ran down. You going into the holidays, if you can get a call for first quarter next year, I think they'll pay off personally.
Yeah, I mean, think about all the people who are starting their Christmas shopping now, right? All the responsible people, and then think about all the people like me who are probably gonna wait till 2 days before Christmas, and not find anything. And we're all gonna be using PayPal. We're all gonna be using Square. We're all gonna be using Visa, MasterCard, American Express, right? So I mean, spot on. You and everyone knows that we use digital cash to buy, and so everyone knows that Q1 when they report the Thanksgiving season, Christmas season earnings, it's a no-brainer. Like I wouldn't swing through earnings because I don't have T's formula yet, but I would run it up into earnings, and I would probably, you can just play it all the way up into earnings.
Right. No, I definitely agree. And I think also people understand this because obviously there's a big wave on crypto right now, which I agree, but how do people buy crypto right now?
I use Cash App, bro.
Well, yeah, there you go. But you got to get the cash in there. So a lot of people even fund their crypto with, Visa, MasterCard. So
yeah. So I mean, it's just simple. Keep it simple. I think that's you just kept it so simple there, and I know I tend to overcomplicate things sometimes, looking for the 50 bullish things to fortify my case, but it's just that simple. It's under the 200. It's a great company. People are gonna the server is not going anywhere, and they're gonna start using it like crazy, especially now. Mad simple. I love it. You got any others that you want to look at while we have you?
I think probably look at Visa too. I'm not sure. I haven't looked at it in a couple of days, but it'll be interesting to see where they're in relation as well. And again, I've been like you said, trying to keep things simple and looking at those wicks, those bounces, those key points. It'll be interesting to see where this is at. Yeah,
Visa looks like there's a demand zone right here.
Look at DFS too, inside week. That's Discover.
Yeah, DFS inside week, strong volume, so I wouldn't call it a 3-bar but it is kind of flaggy. This looks a lot more like PayPal than Visa.
Yep.
This curling up, but there's a bunch of sellers up here. It's at the 200, so that's another big difference. This can really go in any direction.
Kind of like that it might have caught support there. Look to the left on the weekly. And that volume on that inside bar kind of triggering you that, we fought that up a little bit. Just a guess, but I like to see that it caught there.
Yeah, this is I mean, there's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks of buying pressure pretty much at this level.
Yep.
Yeah. And then it's at the 200, which if it holds the 200, which it seems like it's done it for the past, 6-7 days.
It's going to go.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like it's ready to at least go back up to the 50. At least back to the 50, right? At least back to this area over here or to test the high of this candle.
There'll be a level alert for that one.
Yeah. So guys, if you see DFS triggered on the level alerts channel, you already know. And for anyone who's on this call who isn't part of the server, or if you're watching the replay, we have a channel that basically is like very simple alert-based trading. We look for looks for specific styles. He trades pretty much the strat, and he uses his knowledge to essentially give you alerts on when things are breaking to the upside or downside. You can play them as scalps or you can play them as swings, depending on your thesis and depending on where they are. Like if I see DFS, once I see the alert the channel alert me that there's a break to the upside, I'm just gonna buy some calls and swing for a day or two, right, or 3 days or whatever the case is, to come back and test that 125 level.
Most things play out 1 to 4 days, so it ends up being a swing most of the time.
Yeah, and I think I'll let you speak more on your strategy, but like when I see something triggered, that triggers me to look at it, not necessarily jump in immediately, but to look at it, because it'll test that level 3 or 4 or 5 times before it starts actually deciding which way it wants to go.
Yeah, that's why I specifically have an alerts check for confirmations, because sometimes you need maybe an extra day for the move to happen. But if you get those confirmations and things line up, they tend to go.
Yeah, this is a good one. I actually want to go back to Visa real quick because I like the way that chart was looking. So Visa, so let's look at this. It falls down, catches support, and starts curling back up. Let's look at VFS. Same thing. Falls down, catches support, and curls back up. Now, the reason why I like Visa is because Visa makes these, like, it just forms these big candles. And if you catch the move, like you can catch this downside or upside big moves, and you'll make money on these big volatile plays. Now, Visa obviously traded up at a high of 252. Right now, it seems like it's, as Trini said, it seems like it's sitting in a demand zone. I can tell by all these buyers here that this is just a strong area for people to buy it up. They think it's on sale. Yeah, I mean, it repeated. Look at it basically did the same thing as before. It kind of died on this week, and then it got bought up for 6 weeks in a row. And now we died on this week, and now we're getting bought up. So, I mean, I can expect, the only thing that might slow it down is this dividend right here, potentially. If I'm looking at the previous dividend payout, yeah, it sold off a little bit. If I look at the previous one, it was a green day. So who knows? But this might be your only slowdown. Otherwise, I think it might want to come up and test some of these moving averages to choose a true direction. Let's see. Fab, do you want to talk about, you want to jump on a mic and talk about Amazon? And look, and V seasonality is 100% in November. So November is the season where Visa stock is expected to go up, right? For those of you who don't know, you can use the robot room. There's a trading tick seasonality query. Type in T-seasonality in it, and whatever the ticker is, and it tells you which month is best for the ticker and also which day of the week is best for the ticker. I use it pretty often. Yeah, it's dope. I use it pretty often. I always look at seasonality. You know, last year was an odd year because everything was broken pretty much. Yeah, and then that's how Corey caught Starbucks and Coca-Cola, and one of those, I think one of them hit 50 and the other one hit like 100 or 200%. I think Coca-Cola hit 200% for you. Like, they were just both bangers. Okay, so let me go ahead and I'm gonna read Fab's analysis. Let's see, Amazon. Let's see, I got a bunch of colors on my Amazon chart. And if you guys see anything that you want to add to this, but I'm gonna go ahead and read her analysis. So Amazon had a great recovery this week, as you can tell by this big ass green candle breaking above previous resistance. Has a resistance level at 35, 26, 33. So I'm going to go ahead and, like I do with everybody's levels, I always add them in a different color to my chart. Settings. Let's see. 35, 26, 33. So now I'm going to keep Fab's level forever on my chart, so I know that that's, you know, and then I go back to the other charts. And I see Corey's level, and I go back and I see Trini's level in blue. When I see blue, I know that's somebody else's level, and I do that all the time. Back to April, respected that line 4 times now, so I'm just gonna pull it all the way back. 35, 26, 33, 35, 26, 33. $35, 26, 33. Yeah, my neighborhood's quiet today. We would have heard like 40 sirens by now. All right, so it's respected that level 4 times now. I didn't have the strongest close, but it's going to be important to watch whether Amazon consolidates before continuing higher or just go straight for all-time high. Amazon trades best, in my opinion, on whole contract numbers. So I'm looking at the 3550, 3600, and 3650. So yeah, I mean, it's just nice and simple, right? To add to it, I see just Amazon's making higher lows on a weekly, a bunch of buying pressure down here, which is very nice. Amazon's another one of those that like the charts look kind of ugly sometimes, and you get these crazy ass gaps. But when it moves, right? It'll move 100 points in a day, like nothing. So this is the level that Fab was talking about right here, this blue line. And as you can see, it's rejected here, it's rejected here. It found support over here. And that's just a very simple analysis. Let's see. I think Amazon is one of those companies that's just never going to go anywhere because, I hooked up my record player yesterday or 2 days ago, and I found out that I needed to get a phono preamp to get it to sound right. So I ordered the shit on Amazon on Friday night, and it got here Saturday morning. Like it would have only been faster if I would have went to the store, got up and traveled to the store in the morning and went and got it and wasted gas and had to find parking and do all that mess. Like Amazon's not going anywhere. You provide me that kind of service and you're going to get my money consistently every month. So they're going nowhere. Amazon has been pretty much trading sideways. Obviously the top of the range was way up here, but look at all this sideways kind of action for all, and it'll be easier if I put up the monthly. Yeah. I mean, look at the massive gaps, massive run up, and then now just trading sideways. Like, look at this wild ass range, yo. Again, and then STB says AWS and Amazon Business offer many more product offerings will be coming down the pipeline. So not only like basic Amazon, me buying electronic gear that my wife hates because I fill the house up with it. Not only that, but they have Amazon Web Services, which pretty much every image that I've ever posted online, everything all goes gets hosted through AWS. Half of the internet is hosted through AWS. I think our website, half of it's hosted through AWS, right? A lot of this data that a lot of these companies collect are hosted on AWS. Let's see, double bottom into higher lows on a daily, right? So you got your double bottom right here. Where is it? Man, homework is gonna be fun this week. Y'all got me lit right now. Homework is gonna be fun this week. So there's your double bottom into your, where's my tool? There's your double bottom into this higher low, right? Bunch of buying pressure over here, breaking above the 50 and the 200 day. It may or may not be insider information on Amazon. It's a joke, guys. SEC, that's a joke, okay? But yeah, just like Fab said, if it breaks above this line, what I want to see on price action is I want to see it break above this level and hold. Actually, let's look at I just want to look at the intraday price action on this real quick. Yeah, like it broke above it. It actually opened, went right to it, rejected right at the line, and then found support on the next couple of candles, and then came back down, kind of tested the area, bounced again, formed an H, and broke underneath it. Right. So this is like a magnetic level for Amazon, it looks like, just based on what I'm seeing on that one day. Right. Let me see if I could pull it back to this day. This day when it traded at it. Okay, so the previous, whatever this day was, it like just failed. It didn't even try to touch it. It just went up to it, and the kitchen was too hot, so it left. And then it formed kind of a cup. Try it again. Cup. Here's the handle right here. Right. Let me just draw it for anyone who's unfamiliar. I know you guys see this a million times, but we got to beat dead horses on this side sometimes just to make sure that the point gets across. So there's your cup. This isn't one of those stunner cups. This is this is where S. Dot was sipping his medicine out of this little cup right here. You got your cup. You got your handle right here. It's an ugly handle, but whatever. We're gonna deal with it. This is a Philly cup. This is the cups look like in Philly. Got the handle, broke out of the handle, came back to that level and kind of failed, tried again, and then just failed and just fell down. So this is a very strong level for it. I'm not gonna go back in the past. You guys can do your own homework on that. Super strong level for Amazon. Now, one thing I will show you real quick on this Amazon before I move on to it. I see that you guys want to do Apple. So after this, yeah, and look at that. It just, every single time it gets to this level, sells off. Boom, boom, boom. Each time. It broke out this time on it. I'm sure there was a catalyst on this day. Maybe that's the day that Bezos went to space or something. I don't know, but It did that, and then it came down, tested it, and then was gonna break an H and just like fell to hell, right? So this is a very strong level. Everybody should note this level on your chart, actually, if you're interested in playing Amazon. Now, one thing I will say about Amazon, let's look at this monthly. On the left, I'm gonna go ahead and change this ticker on the right to Netflix, and I'm gonna go to the monthly. Is the monthly? Yeah. All right. So this was last year on Netflix. This was last year on Netflix. What is it? July. From July to July. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 candlesticks of sideways action before it decided to break and rip, right? And obviously it's struggling a little bit this month, but I think that's just people taking profits. Now, if we look at Amazon, Amazon's had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 months within the same range. And it's very clear to me right here, within the same range. If you look at it, actually looking at it now, and I don't really play Amazon often. I usually just play Amazon on Fridays. If you do want to play Amazon, those premiums are very, very expensive. You can play using spreads. If anybody wants to learn about spreads, if you are a 24K Gold member, then you can visit our Gold Rush Academy category. Inside the webinar channel, there is a free lesson from the man JCat on spreads. So take advantage of it. So there's your cup, there's your handle. It looks like it's breaking out of the handle now to test that blue line, that fab line. So, and maybe it'll do the same thing that Netflix did out of that 12-month consolidation. So that's great. And let's look for anyone who likes sympathies. You want to play a little bit cheaper. Let's look for, the companies that move when Amazon moves. The next one is Regeneron. I just here typed in Regeneron. So let's look at it and let's change this back. Is that Regeneron? Oh, that's not it. Okay. Let's do the weekly and let's do the daily. All right. Regeneron got a possibly long-term hold, double bottom on off the 200 at 540 support. So here's there's a bunch of bottoms over here. A lot of buying pressure down in this area. Do everything that we can to make sure that this is a safe venue. And then there's a bullish cross on the MACD, which occurred right here, right at that double bottom, right off the 200, right? That's the bullish cross right there. They have an impressive pipeline of drugs in development that will positively contribute to their revenues in the future. So Regeneron was one of those tickers that got influenced by Big Papa Trump, Big Papa Pump, right?
Bruh, is that your TV?
No, I don't have a TV in this room. Somebody's mic is on.
I don't see him lighting up.
Yeah, I just muted somebody. All right, so yeah, so yeah, I mean the buying pressure here off the 200 MACD bullish cross. That's clear. That's very clean, right? TTM is lit up bright green. Now everything is slowing down now, right? And it's all slowing down just because we gapped down on this day. I guess it was an earnings catalyst as a gap down. Even on the gap down, they bought it up. They said it's still on sale. Now I want to see it above this 50-day moving average before we do anything. This is a very clear, like kind of cup and handle. Actually, you can see a very clear reversal going on over here. Let me see if this is gonna work. It's not gonna work. I was gonna do 2 week, but it's not gonna show me as clean as I wanted to. But it looks like a Morningstar reversal right here, right? Big sell-off, doji in the middle, a big gap up. And then it just looks like a cup and handle on the weekly. So yeah, let's see. And then if you want to look at some levels on this, then I'm gonna get into Apple next. Now, I personally wouldn't take this above the 50, below the 50. I would wait till it gets back above the 50. That's where the 50s are right now. The next level and then you just want to play all of these levels. I'm very simple the way that I chart sometimes. Just hit these levels one by one. Let me change this back to black. Hit these levels one by one. Those are your levels. And I know it can get very complicated. Actually, you know what? Let's do this. You got one there, one there, one there, one there, and one there. Yeah, you want to jump on the mic, STB? Let's go back to Amazon, and you can jump on the mic and talk. Give us spill the tea, the non-SEC tea. Where we at? I'm gonna ask you to unmute. Go back to Amazon. I like when you guys take over, man. I don't want to do any work, guys. This is your server. This is your community.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we do hear you. Welcome. Happy Sunday.
Hey, happy Sunday to you. So real quick, there is a product
I'm gonna go on mute. Sorry.
Just real quick, I just wanted to share. There's a product that's gonna be, you guys are gonna hear this over and over. It's just called transparency. It's just a way for sellers to protect counterfeit protection. So basically, what I mean by that is currently you within Amazon sellers, you put on a product, and then it's really easy for someone else to kind of copy that product and then sell it for cheaper somewhere else. So what Amazon is doing to help with that issue, that use case, they created a technology where they're able to protect their sellers to be able to create a UPS code where it would be issued to all of their products and brands across all platforms, Target, Walmart, Amazon, wherever it is. And it's just to help the original manufacturer, the original person that's creating this product is selling it, to protect them. So in the event that they try to sell that product, like somebody else is trying to copy that product with that same, and they have that that code, it will come back as just not be able to do so, right? It's just not going to be able to list their products in border stores or anything. So you'll see that coming down the pipeline a lot. It's in the beginning stages right now, but that's going to be huge.
Hold on one second, guys. Okay, bye. Sorry about that.
That's okay. So just to wrap up, just earlier, you guys will see this a lot. It's going to be huge, in regards to this for a seller, where they will be actively just counterfeit protection. Is that me?
No, it's not you. Hang on one second. Okay. Sorry about that.
Yeah, that's okay. No worries. So basically, it's a way for customers to enable and their products and authenticate their brands and communicate unit level product information, including like everything about the product, and it's secured. So then they can use that same code. It's universal across all platforms, all e-commerce. So it's huge in mortar stores and anything like that. So it's just really, really where it is out in the public. So it's not like I'm just giving you insider information. It actually is out already. It's just not popular yet. They haven't really pushed like a big, it's not out yet. It's just in the very beginning infancy stages. So just more of that to come. But if you want to research that, just go out on Google and just type in transparency Amazon. You should get a bunch of stuff information regarding that.
Awesome. I think that's very interesting that they're offering that because it's a well-known, commonly known business practice of Amazon to see what their highest third-party producing products are. So for example, if they see that a lot of, I'm just looking at my desk and they see a lot of like wireless charging pads are extremely popular, then they'll find a way to create their own wireless charging pads, and they'll call it Amazon Basics or whatever, and then they'll shadow ban the previous Amazon, whoever the more successful one was, and they'll push theirs to the people who are searching for them. So it's interesting that they're stopping that within the community, but they're not necessarily going to stop that in their practice. Now, it is what it is. I think Amazon is genius for that. Is it dirty business? Yeah, but I mean, it's also business. So I think that's great. And that's actually great information. I'm going to look a little bit more into it because I love Amazon. I love the company. And so I want to learn more about it. So thank you for that. And that is not SCC. If you're listening, that's not insider information. It's publicly available. You use your Googles. Let's look at Roku. Let's look at Roku because Dean is making money. That's what I like to see. All right. So Roku on a daily. They reported earnings, and it looks like there was a good report, right? We had a positive report. Let's see. The estimate was in earnings was 6 cents per share, and they reported a 48 cents per share. And then the revenue is where they kind of died, right? The estimate was 683 million, and they reported a little shy under 680 million, and so that's why it fell. Now, it does look very gross. I mean, it just broke through all these levels. It formed a nasty doji, and it just chose to go down. The next level of support for Roku, in my opinion, would be this 272.41 that I have here. It actually triple tapped to the downside. Also, you can see it's kind of like a cup and handle to the downside, right? These things happen in both directions. So, I mean, here's your cup right here. There's your cup, and then there's your handle, break, and triple tap into hell, right? Is it a descending triangle? Yeah, I mean, there's a triangle here. Let me see. There's just a bunch of bearish activity over here. We have one of these. I actually, now that it's formed those two candles after earnings, I see something like this. I do it like this. Something like this happening. So, I mean, what'll happen? Maybe it'll hit the support, try to come back to test these levels, or even up here to this kind of resistance level, and then maybe fail. Who knows? What did I just do? Yeah. So, to me, it looks bearish. I would just play it pretty much to this line here. I would play it to 272.87, and then underneath that, there's a small, tiny little gap over here. Just draw my levels on it. And then underneath that, there's a small little gap that maybe it's just going to work its way down a fill. And then underneath these two levels can get really nasty for Roku. It'll pay you if you play the puts. And then I don't think it's going to come all the way down here. I mean, this is where the support is at, though. And actually, just like Corey said, play it to the volume shelf. And this is where the shelf is. This little thing right here is where the shelf is. So this is like your ultimate last support down here. If it falls underneath here, maybe it'll bounce at the 200 level, which is a nice psychological number. And if it falls through there, I mean, that's going to be really disgusting for Roku. I don't see Roku going down that low. Roku makes most of the money from advertising. I don't think they make a lot of money on hardware. So I don't think that they'll go that low, but those are your levels. Those are your levels. And I'm going to just go ahead and add this. Where's my Roku? I'm just gonna add Roku so we can just post it in the channel. All right, I'm gonna go into Apple real quick. Ash, you want to talk about Apple a little bit?
Yeah, I can. Let me pull it up real fast. All right.
You want to share your screen?
Yeah, I'm taking over right now.
Oh, okay, cool.
All right. So Apple on the weekly, if you're in here a little bit earlier, I had said that it is an inside week. So I've already gone through and set up some level alerts for us. It's over the 9 on the weekly, which we'd like to see. Volume, nothing stands out on the volume. And now when we move down to daily, we can see how we had this range kind of tighten up in between last week's range. As a whole, we kind of have a point of control here at around, 148.90. And again, the daily's over the 9 as well as it's moving forward. So we're going to look for basically a 152.50 break If we can get that, we're going to look at the high of the previous week as our first target. And from there, we get back in the all-time high area. I'm thinking that our ultimate price target probably is going to be in the 155 range for the upside. Now, if something were to happen where tech needs a little cool off, we can basically probably see this come down to this 148.90 or even our put line 147.80. If we can hold either one of these lines, we can also play calls from here on the way up and use that first 152.43 as our first price target. Overall, I mean, tech's ripping. We looked at the cues to start, and I mean, this could just be a cool off bar, but if it does kind of give us a little flag, that's where we're going to be looking at that support holding for Apple. Anything below this 147.80, it has nice supports in here, and you can even see it pretty much on the volume shelf. These supports were all off daily lines that I took. I didn't even look at the volume shelf, but you can see how we kind of would play right into them below this area. I expected to kind of be caught up here unless something catastrophic happens, to be honest. So if we definitely come down to this 147.80, let's look to go long if it holds for a day or so. That's actually probably the best play, and we might see a T-money play if something like that happens. But anything above 152.50, we're probably good to continue towards the 157 range. Pretty straightforward, really, where Apple is. What's Apple's seasonality for? Yeah, I don't think it's as great overall. It's kind of like a cool off for it. I think that's kind of one of those things that gets baked in October, where people start already getting ready after the announcements that they have in September, and then they had one in October this year. And then for the holiday season, kind of bake them in a little bit.
I find it interesting that they also, during their earnings report, they also sandbagged guidance, same exact thing they did last year. And so what that means to sandbag is basically to say, no, we don't have any guidance. You know, we can't really call it right now. We can't give you numbers. So anything is, you know, any numbers that we receive are going to be bullish just because, like, you know, it's just a high expectation. So Apple didn't get to, and Apple killed it. Like, I think this year, January, when they sandbagged last year, Q3, and when they put out Q4 earnings, which was in January, whenever the hell it was, their earnings report, they had a monster beat. Like, they had the biggest revenue, the biggest growth, biggest sales, like, ever. It was like record-breaking sales. And you know, it just got killed. At that point, memes were running, so nobody cared. But yeah, that pullback would be the best case scenario for Apple. I have my two little points of analysis that I have for Apple are I had an, you know, same inside week that S talked about, with a higher low, nothing but higher highs on the daily after the doji on Monday. So it's just up, right? It's just up from here. So all right, let's go ahead.
That's really all I got, man. For Apple overall, pretty straightforward.
Okay. You want to pull up PD?
My brain's fried. I forgot I was sharing my screen. I'm sitting here going through tickers, right? At my inside day list. Go ahead. What do you want me to look? PDD?
Yeah, PDD.
I mean, looks pretty bearish to me overall, but I think they have earnings this week, right?
Like a couple weeks out.
So caught a nice support here at least, but the volume shelf's not really showing much below. But I like that it caught that support from back in early October. I don't have any moving averages or anything on this thing. Yeah, I mean, it looks bearish. We could see more downside in my mind. Will it come all the way down to 74? Not sure, but we wanted to at least bounce on this 83.75 for a little bit and kind of consolidate before kind of turning over, heading back up. But I mean, it's separated off that 9 pretty hard.
Mm-hmm.
So I personally wouldn't touch this one, even to the downside, because I don't know if it has enough to go. I don't know if it's gonna have enough power behind it to go, but I'd probably stay away from this as a whole, personally. Look at all that volume above it. Even if it does get going, it's gonna fight through this initial range.
High traffic.
Yep.
You want to pull up NEE?
Now this looks a little bit better. Little triple tap feel to it. 1, 2 in this area. 3. You got your slight pullback, and let's rip through. So in JCAT style overall, and it's cup and handle too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cup, handle. We're already in the breakout, so it kind of plays into everybody's style right here. Styles on styles on styles. We're kind of breaking out of the handle right now, and this would be Jay's buy anyway down here on a triple tap. When it holds the 9 and the 20, that's what he wants to see. He wants to see them fight up above, and now that's lifting off. That's Jay's entry on a triple tap. The safe is for the full breakout of 86.44. You want to see it get over and close, but I mean that looks real good. That should be. I mean, slight inverse head and shoulders too. I mean, patterns on patterns. That's what we like to see overall. I think we should all put this one on our watch list.
Yeah. And he's a no-brainer. It's very. I mean, it's in a demand zone. It's in a supply zone right now, and it's consolidating.
Super clean.
Yeah. I mean, this thing is gonna go. Whether it's gonna be this week or next week is what we need to determine. But everybody, you should expect to play for NEE this week.
I mean, being this close to a monthly expiration next week's isn't a horrible idea, right? Just to take it either way.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's clean. That's super, super clean. We should all have this one.
And then I want to get your take on Palantir. They have earnings this week.
Yeah, it's already lined up for this week.
Nice. Inside
week. I really played it with a bullish mindset. I only put alert on the top side, above 26.75. Again, like I said, my Palantir chart gets a little ugly because I like to play Palantir just like the rest of Huey and Corey. But we have a nice inside week here. And this line, I think this yellow line goes back to when it was last up in here in like January. I'm not going to go all the way back to it. But so this has been a main line for me, this 26.75, and literally Thursday and Friday, we came right into it, tapped it, fought off. So that's a line I want us to beat before going long again. And that's all I really care about. I mean, this long red bar, do we come back down to 22.86? I don't think we actually do. I think the bear thesis is more short term. I think we've made our reversal. We're back up into it. I mean, it's kind of given us that symmetrical triangle too that I fucking love to play personally. You see how it's riding that trend right up. So we're getting ready for a break. This might have been our low to go head out. And if you want to know what these look like, GameStop literally played right out of the weekly one as well. This week, and played. It was looking like this and like this, and GameStop broke out and just didn't look back, right, for the first 3 days of the week. And that's what we're gonna look like essentially on Palantir. And let's look at it on the daily. Same thing, kind of looking strong off the trend bounce on the weekly. We get through this hard resistance here. You can see that we got a little bit of a shelf too. And if we can get some decent closes above this, we should have room to run and hopefully get out of the symmetrical triangle. And then
Jay Haas says Palantir looks like Moderna before the dump, except their earnings will likely pump off government Q3 budget spending.
Yeah, I mean, I know there was a lot of stuff coming out the past couple of months where they're picking up little contracts, no billion-dollar contracts, but a little 100 million here, 50 million there. So their earnings will be very interesting. Yeah, higher lows, higher highs, all that stuff. SOFI Fab, I think I did this one already today too. I'm starting to get all fucking confused. Nah, this COVID brain is for real, man. It's wild. So I looked at this because SoFi, I've been tracking inside weeks, like I said, and if you guys didn't know, JR Banks and I bounce this stuff off each other a lot, and we kind of track them together to make sure one of us doesn't miss them. And SoFi had a nice inside week, similar to Macy's, and once it broke the high of the previous week, it took off. So that's why it was in my head. Kind of had like a 3-bar-ish play here on the weekly. Let's look on a daily. Daily looks a little exhaustive. That 23.19, basically we want to get above for continuation. And even then we have $2 for the next real hard resistance. So, and then from there, I think we're here? There probably 27. So basically $2 at a pop once we can get above 23.25 roughly. But this looks kind of exhaustive. You see this daily candle, trying to zoom in so you guys can see it better. And what I mean by exhaustive, so this engulfing got pushed down. Then sellers came in and really pushed it down. Buyers fought in, pushed it up some more, and then pushed down again for the close to give us a bit of a dragonfly doji, which essentially just means indecision for the most part. Next day opened up, and again, sellers pushed the thing hard down. So that gave us an inverted hammer, which is a bearish reversal type thing. Then this is a spinning top. Again, sellers pushing it down, indecision, and then with the gap down the next day. So this kind of almost abandoned me to the upside. And then we gap down on here. So this has a bearish feel to it with price targets of break of basically 22.19. You can see 21.64 down to the probably this support 21. So to me, that looks like we might have a couple of days of reversal or consolidation before it wants to go up.
Yeah, they got earnings this week too. It looks like Wednesday or Tuesday.
Another excuse to dump it, right? For people that think that it might be too high and they want to get in lower for market makers, another excuse earnings will be to bring it down to this 19 again before taking it back up.
Yeah, if you look at the past 2 earnings reports, they dumped both times.
Yeah, I mean, all this is manipulation in a way, and we're looking for excuses to dump shit for the most part.
Yeah,
that's one of them. And if you want to get kind of technical on stuff, it's at the top of a broadening too, right? So the idea we want to come down to this trend, which also comes down to that 19 support resistance. All styles kind of line up with each other. Yeah, probably would looks more like this, right? The inside bar after the engulfing. Or could even do the inside bar before the engulfing. That was giving you a lot of shit there in the beginning, but no wonder T played it. Pretty clean price action.
Yeah, the weekly on this was super clean. It was like a no-brainer to take that break.
Yep. So again, we don't like to be in a lot of earnings, but we know how to play them, right? The run-ups, the sell-off. But I don't know if this was one I'd play through because who knows at this point.
Yeah. Any earnings, you have to, if you're gonna swing through earnings, you need to have extremely high conviction. I've been swinging through earnings a bunch, and I'll swing my one or two, my runners, right? My runners are the ones that have to face that battle. By that time, I've already taken most of my position out. I'm already, I've been profitable, and if the swing goes well, then it's just, a little cherry on top.
Now, what Fab's saying is they're awaiting their bank charter approval, and if it sells off, looking for March contracts, that's the way to play this, Fab, because even the charter approval is going to give you enough spike for you to pull out those March contracts if you buy in on a dip here. I like that idea.
You can go pretty far out on those two. Get March, and you can get whatever the all-time high is. You could just get those strikes. Call it a day.
Got a lot, Fab. Fab's swing brain has been off the hook lately.
Skills is like it's right at that trend line resistance.
Yep. Wants to. I think T put his skills out before close.
Yeah, right before like a shot clock.
Yeah. I mean, that trend sucks.
The blue one that's there, hiding in there.
Oh yeah. See that again, that's weekly. I mean, yeah. I mean, this is my old style, really. Looks good. Anything, if this thing really gets going above, what's that, 1212? It's a wrap. Once we hit this above 1268, it runs. It's a wrap. That, again, that's a, why did that come up? Inside day. I hate this. This chart has been kind of ugly for the most part, but I know T looks at this for entries. Got the 9 above the 20. Ready to rock. Got pen on the inside day. I put that one. I put some alerts set up for that too, just because it's in an interesting place after earnings and then Stooley president news. So sell off earnings and the news of Stooley president, gap up after that. So kind of in a little bit of indecision spot. I'd like to see it probably get back to the 65 range. I know Hans likes to watch this one too. So might be a play there. Also banks, XLF.
Yeah, not nice was talking about banks look very similar to the same spot that they were at last year on the weekly, right before they made a move up. I haven't looked at it, but this chart right here is a beauty.
Yeah, I just sold my last XLF leap from January.
Wow, amazing, man! Congrats.
Scaled it out. I think I got in here.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it had to be. It's somewhere in January. Yeah, I got in at the top here. That's where I got in, and then it pulled back. I'm like, I was down like 50% right off the bat on a leap. Yeah, you're right. And then it just took off.
Yeah, I think around this same time last year, we maybe next month or maybe this month, we played that BAC.
Yep, you called it at the end of December.
Yeah,
and it was what was it? A March and an April, right?
Yeah,
maybe it's beginning of January, March, April, and that run up was sick too.
And it was like wild out the money too, but we got paid off that.
Yeah.
So I'm like constantly looking at XLF, BAC, JPM for particularly that same exact play. Like I want to see that same exact play. I want to go out the money. I want to see where all the open interest is and all the volume is. And so I check it pretty much every day. So once I find that, you guys will have it.
Yep. Yeah, so we got Wells Fargo on inside day, XLF on the inside day, Citi's XL inside day, I think it was. Yep. So we got a lot of banks and stuff in an indecision type thing. So the banks want to make a move. And like I said, me and JR Banks kind of keep each other locked in on some of this stuff, and he actually tipped me off to the banks. XLF, MS, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, all of them inside days. So just about every major bank's throwing up an inside day for us on a Friday, nonetheless. So those can all be on the list to kind of get an idea. All kind of sitting on support too, right? So maybe not nice is on to something there that's getting ready to lift off.
Mm-hmm. I was hoping that we wouldn't have, these things gap. Like I think X is we're gonna wake up to a nice little surprise on X, hopefully, and like banks like to gap over the weekends too. So I'm hoping that we didn't miss it.
So I have a little bear in me, right? So this could all be sell the news, mm-hmm. right? Everything everybody thinks is gonna happen might completely be the opposite. Mm-hmm. In that sense, you want to look at the stuff in my mind that isn't so obvious, like the charge points, the blink staff cells. Mm-hmm. I think some of the infrastructure stuff is almost too obvious. X, CAT, I don't know. That's just me playing the manipulation side of it.
That's why we can't just have one perspective, right? That's why as a community, we always gotta make sure that we're testing each other and just providing a different side, a different perspective. That's why Yogi Bear Hoss, he's just bearish on everything. So, and he usually gets paid too. It's crazy.
Trinity, that play was an XLF, and it was my initial live back testing of what the SPY leap was. So as you know of the SPY leap, we're kind of already moving. Well, XLF is what gave me the confidence to really put in, because I was able to track the XLF, but I had done all the back testing on SPY, XLF, all those for these leap ideas. And that's kind of how I came up with the SPY, and how I explained to you that I started scaling in. I started scaling in off that XLF drop as because of that XLF drop, where if I would have done it there for XLF, things would have been like 1,000%. That play would have been like 1,000%. Versus I think my last one went for 500 or 600%. But if I would have scaled in off this big drop, right? Literally, I bought the top in January. And if I would have just scaled into this pullback back to the 20 and bought a couple more, I could have easily turned that from 500% to 1,000%. And that's where when we bought this SPY leap, I was saying I was still scaling in as it went down. So that's where that play came from. Sorry.
Yeah, that SPY strategy, S has been testing that and talking about that for over a year now. So, I mean, that play that you guys got into, it's already over 100%, isn't it?
Yeah, it hit 100% on Friday.
Yeah. So, I mean, congrats to everyone who's in it, and congrats to you for calling that out. That's a monster, and there's nothing but time on that.
10.5 months to go. Let's see how it goes.
Yes. I wish I would have. As soon as you called it, I was mad because I had used all my buying power in my Leaps account for other things that aren't looking too hot right now.
And I've been waiting for that.
Yeah.
Who knows, Jay, T Money, no, I have literally back tested that for 3 months and have been waiting since I finished back testing it to call it, and it never hit my criteria until September.
What was the drop? 6%?
I wanted a 5% drop minimum, and
nice.
we never hit it. And that call out was like just under 5%, just over 5% of pullback, I think.
Yeah, we won't get another one probably till like March.
Yeah, probably not.
I'll get on that
I'm selling the week before.
Yeah, I'll get it on that one. You want to pull up GPS for STB?
Yep, I see it. Nice reversal. Back over the 9, slapped into the 20.
So weekly.
Yeah, on the weekly, I guess. Oh,
Still
daily looks
nice.
even better.
Yeah.
20 crossing the 50, the 9 picking up. Yeah, that's good. If you want to play off levels, what is this level? Over 26 probably. And starts running again.
Earnings run up too.
Yep. Yeah.
You want to jump on the mic, STB? Hold on. We have to shut it down.
Yeah, I gotta get rolling. My head's fucking killing me.
Yeah, I think after this we'll call it. Where you at, STB? Where are you? There you are. Okay.
For our JD trades, I mean, we can look at it, but they got a lot of news pushing right now and they just added strikes. Team Money, the way Team Money's talking, that's probably our next 1,000%er, to be honest. So I mean, we can look at it after STB gets on, but
another 1,000%er.
That's, I mean, the way he's talking and the way the news. I mean, I'm seeing all the news. Yeah, I'm seeing all the news, and my whole mindset is based off manipulation. And when we start seeing news, if we're already in it, we're gonna crush it, and we're already in it. So we'll look at it after GPS, and that'll be the last one. IONQ.
STB, I asked you to unmute, so go ahead and unmute yourself once you have a chance. You should be able to.
Okay. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, no, just real quick. Young Fab and I she brought to my attention that just we want to start playing retail. We noticed that retail could pay when it's their time to make that move. So GPS has been on the radar, just like it's been on a downtrend or whatever, and I feel like it has found its like base and support, and everything you just said on the weekly, I really like it a lot. The 50 MA crossing the 20 MA. And then the daily, it looks like it found its space. It dropped on Friday, which means the contracts were cheap now. Now I was looking yesterday, and I was researching the December 17 calls and January 21st would be probably what I would be trying to play with. And then I think it has earnings next week, not this week, but the last week of November, I think is when if I remember correctly. My targets for GPS, we want to hold this area. It's 2453 is a hard resistance that I have that goes all the way back. I want to say like 1998. It's like goes back. But if we hold this on Monday and we continue, then my next target is 2738, 2881, and then 3023. So I'm going to be looking for a position to start a position on Monday if we hold this area that we're in now. It pulled back on Friday a little bit, but I think it's good for me because then the contracts should be a little cheaper for us for the December 17th and January 21st.
I like it, S2D.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead and drop those levels and your targets and your contracts in the watch list channel for us so we can all keep our eyes on it as a group. Yeah, those are, I'm just looking at the chart now. Those are fantastic levels. Technicals are there. The weekly's forming a big ass cup of hand, like a massive cup of handle. And then I see Fab says I like NKE, Ulta, GPS, TGT for retail tickers. Can't remember what else is on my watch list for retail tickers. We'll update when I get home. Yeah, Target went on a massive rip this year, earlier in the year.
Company.
Yeah. Nike, we ate off Nike on Friday. I know a bunch of you were in Nike since like Monday.
Okay, recovery.
Yeah, it's I mean, it's the season. Like people are buying Nike, people are buying at Gap, people are buying at Target, especially now going into the holidays.
This one hurts, Fab. This one really hurts. Ulta hurts. Yeah. Now, Ulta, I mean, for people that play, so we got to think of trading a little bit. No, I didn't get an Ulta, Fab. That's why it hurts. I forgot all about it, Fab. I mean, we talked about it for the snipe and everything, and I forgot all about it. Shift work, right? So whatever. It's over. Move on. There's always other trades. Move on, Fab. Move on. So the way I kind of look at trading sometimes is like there's all different size accounts and smaller accounts. That's where the GPS are great, right? And then the medium size accounts, that's where you're going to play Targets, Walmarts. And then the bigger accounts, that's where you play the Ultas and the shops and stuff like that. So just thought process, because the contracts for Ulta are actually way more expensive than you would expect them to be for the most part, especially for swings. Because it, as you can see, it likes to move $20 at a time. Likes to move 5-10% when it moves. So just keep that in mind, like different size accounts, that kind of gives you a ticker area to work with.
Yo, can we look at Disney real quick?
About time that thing started moving too, huh? It's been forever. One eternity later. I mean, it couldn't have given you a better buy area, right? It just sat here on this support that we already see as like a demand zone, right? Like it just sat here telling you, hey, take a couple months out, and boom, gone.
And there's still a lot of chop, but
yeah, I mean, gets over this point of control. That's what, 77? Yeah, 177, and it could go. even more. I'd like to see Disney back in close to 200 personally.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I think it deserves it.
Yeah. Okay. We said IONQ for the last one. Let's finish up on this.
Yeah.
So, like I said, news everywhere on this, RJ. And then we had that gap up on Friday, which we were already in. So, I mean, that gap up alone, some of you probably should have sold a few contracts, right? Because I think that call was the previous Friday, the 29th. I think I saw. So that alone was almost a 33% move for you. So if you're in it since that Friday, our style would have been for you to sell some this past Friday. But after that, we want to see, obviously, we want to see above Friday's high of 1930-ish. And our now stop loss, because we got in back here, right? We got back in at 15. Our stop loss is now 17.19. We lose a 17.19, we start reevaluating our position. If at the very least or very worst, we kind of want to see something like this, right? And then bounce here and then rip back off. But that's our stop loss, 17.19. Anything under here, that's where we look to secure profits, which hopefully the T likes to close shit early in the morning. So maybe we're closer to the $15 mark. And so it's still a $2 move for you, and you can secure some profit even with the loss of 17.19. That's how I would play it personally. You're in profit. If we open above this, open path, right? There's nothing above us. So from that point, we got to go to different modes of figuring out price targets. Let's just go here. Look at that fib lining up pretty damn close.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So 2022, which is psychological, 24 psychological, and 26.75. Those would be my targets above 1930. So
this company, the last piece of, well, really the first piece of news that I saw on it was NVIDIA GTC event on November 10th at 11 Cali time. Exponential advantage with quantum machine learning, and Sonika Jory from IonQ. She's a lead quantum applications researcher. So they have a strong catalyst there with an NVIDIA being interested in their business. I'm sure there's a partnership there if we dig a little bit deeper. And so I say that to say, you see where NVIDIA is at. If you like this and you want to dig a little bit into it, and obviously if it's paid you, you took the play and it's paid you, then go ahead and buy some shares in this, because this seems like, it can go from $20 to $40 pretty quickly. So not only options on this, but buy some shares on this if you like the industry and you like quantum learning and machine learning and all that stuff. But yeah, the catalyst is on November 10th at 11 o'clock in the morning, Cali time. And I posted a little flyer in the watch list for us.
So let's keep an eye on that too. Maybe a sell the news type thing. So just if there's a hard run up, start scaling out.
And I think that's it.
Yep, I'm good.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys for jumping on and for sharing with us and making this a little bit more of a community effort. I think maybe we'll do something a little bit more basic for the traders who want, they have questions and they want some answers. Maybe we'll have something for homework where you guys can lead it and kind of help the new traders see your perspective. I think you guys are more than ready. So I'm very excited about it.
A big thank you to Corey, Trini, STB, Fab, anybody else that I might have missed that actually came on and talked about this stuff that they were seeing. Appreciate you guys putting in extra work and sharing it with the group and showing some of the newer traders where the progression kind of looks and can go for them as well if they put the time in.
Yes, sir. Thank you guys. You guys are amazing. Yeah, I think that's it. Shit, I'm tired and it's time. I have to have dinner now. It's mad late, but whatever.
Got an extra hour of sleep. Yeah, all right.
Yo, I still woke up late, bro.
Yeah, kids wake. It don't matter. You get an extra hour of sleep. Kid still wakes up.
Nah.
My kid was up at 6:30 on the dot.
My kid, I don't know what time she woke up because she was at her grandma's, and me and her mom stayed in bed till like noon, bro. It was great.
Yep. I don't need to get into a personal story, but me and my wife swapped days on taking care of the kid in the morning so we can sleep in. And my wife super strategic on getting today with the extra hour.
She had a plan. She's been had a plan since she started it, bro. That's crazy.
Yeah.
A long game. Maybe you should have her look at your leaps.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much. If you're not part of the group, hit us up at goldrushgang.net and join us. 7-day free trial. And if you are part of the group, let's make some money again.
Money.
Yep.
Right, peace, guys.
Peace.